Know how it all turns out. Will it turn out that we took a long and ugly road to a destination that in the end wasn't that bad or even was faintly good? Or do we take a long and ugly road to an even uglier place? We don't know the answer to that right now.
What is known is that polls show anti-American feeling increasing worldwide as Iraq spirals into further bloodshed. And U.S. clout in the Middle East has weakened, while the problems keep coming.
I think 9/11 was the centerpiece of everything the Bush administration has done. This was an administration adrift. This was an administration with absolutely no idea of what it was doing on September 10th, 2001. 9/11 gave the President of the United States purpose in life. And so 9/11 was the linchpin for everything I'm talking about. The destruction of Iraq, what is going to happen and seems to be happening in Afghanistan in terms of a long-term, very negative trend. Much of what's happening in Palestine and much of what's happening in Lebanon. And most importantly, this completely unnecessary developing confrontation between the United States and the overwhelming majority of people in the Arab and Muslim worlds.
History may take a more sympathetic view of America post 9/11. It was, after all, brutally attacked. Still, a key question is, did 9/11 fury blind America to more vital world developments, relations with Europe or Asia? Was another casualty of 9/11 loss of focus?
I think we'll look back and we'll say that this was a time in which the Far East became the center of the world, at least economically and perhaps politically and perhaps militarily. I mean, we haven't perhaps been looking enough at what's been happening in China. We haven't perhaps been looking enough at what's been happening in India, which has been experiencing enormous economic growth. And so it may be, we look back and we say this was a troubled time. What we thought at the time, what those people thought at the time after September the 11th, was perhaps not really the most important thing that was happening in the world around them.
There is one certainty about 9/11, however, that history will surely record, that those alive to witness the pain and numbing fear of that day would never forget it. Brian Stewart, CBC News.
And that's News in Review. I'm Carla Robinson. Thanks for watching.